Most retreats are beautiful. That is not enough anymore. And I don't mean that in a negative way. You know I love an incredible location, a thoughtfully designed experience, all of it. But what I'm noticing right now is that people are craving something deeper than just a pretty getaway. They want connection. They want meaning. They want to walk away feeling different than when they arrived. And I think that is why retreats are becoming so powerful right now. Because the ones people remember the most aren't just beautiful, they make people feel something. Hello, dreamers, believers, and bucket list retreaters. Welcome back to Bucket List Retreats, the podcast. I'm your hostess, Kelly Morgan Murley. And if you are new here, I am so glad you found us. This is the place we talk all about retreats, the places, the experiences, and the transformation they create. And today we are diving into the secret to unforgettable retreats. Because yes, beautiful locations do matter. You know I love a good bucket list destination. But what people really actually take home with them, it goes so much deeper than that. We're going to talk about what makes a retreat really stay with a person. And they talk about for years the kind they come back for, and the kind that quietly changes something within them. I hope everyone is having a great week. I finally got a pair of those Halara jeans that are all over TikTok. They're really comfy, but they're really cute. And these are the barrel style legs. So I'm, having to get used to them, but they're probably going out of style just as soon as I got a pair. But, oh, they're super comfortable. And just go to halara.com, Halara. If you're looking for a pair, I think they're on sale all the time. But I did see they were coming out with a straighter leg version. And now that I know I love these, I'm going to get a pair of those as soon as I get a chance. I do want to caution everyone they run large, so consider sizing down, which is what I did. Today, I am back to drinking my mushroom coffee. I'll put a link in the description, no affiliation with Amazon. Do you still have your Amazon account? I know so many people who have deleted their Prime account. I just don't know if I'm ready for that. Anyhow, hey, this is my cup on Etsy. So if you want it or you want something similar, we can make whatever you're looking for. But I love this travel mug. It's fantastic. I usually bring it empty and then I use it for coffee, water, wine, whatever you need on the road. It's so fantastic. And I have been working so hard, and not really so hard because I'm really enjoying my Instagram. Finally, I am trying to get it up where it needs to be. So if you are on Instagram, please follow me. We would really appreciate it. I think you will enjoy the content because I have been taking this amazing course by Carla Beisinger. I hope I am pronouncing her name correctly. It is jam-packed with everything you need to know about growing your Instagram and getting better on Instagram. And what's so great about it is she breaks it down really simply of taking simple videos, applying beautiful hooks, and making a value-packed caption with invitations to follow, of course. Those are just some examples. I think she has also a free course if you want to check that out. And of course, you can check out my Instagram or her Instagram for inspiration. Should I give you one of the secrets? One of the secrets is to get this app, Instagram Edits. You see it there on the end? That's Carla's course. This is my Instagram, and this is Instagram Edits. So get that app. And what is on there is so cool. They have all kinds of ideas for you. So you can just start looking, and there's so many ideas and so many I've saved. And I'm super excited about that because I've already made a ton, and there's just a ton in my saved list that I get to work on too. Really great ideas.
I don't want to go back. How do I do it? I need to stay How here. Much is rent here?
And I can copy that. Use template, it says. Okay, that's super cool. And then you have your projects. There's all my projects. And then you can record right in the app. And then you can look at your analytics, which mine are really going up. How many people do I have today? Instagram. I have 574 followers. I started this course about a week and a half ago when I was right at 500. So I've already gained 74 followers and I'm pretty tickled about that. There's so many secrets in the class. And they're really not secrets. They're all out there. You just need a teacher, someone who knows what they're doing, someone who has done it before to show you how to do it. So check out Carla, link in description if you want to check out her course. I think it's on sale right now. I think it's regularly $9.99 and it's on sale for $4.99. Pretty big savings. Oh, I wanted to mention that yesterday we live out here in the middle of nowhere. All of a sudden we had these two huge like fighter jets fly over the house and then circle around and then go to the airport, which we have a tiny, tiny little airport, which I didn't think they could land on. And they looked like they were landing, but they just kind of did a touch and go. I don't know if they touched down or not because we can't actually see the airport. It's about 2 miles from the house, but we can see in that general direction. And then up they came and right over the house again. I'll put a video clip attached here because I couldn't get them. They were moving so fast, but man, that was shocking. And what were they doing? I don't know. Maybe it's because my husband's always ranting and raving on Facebook. You know what I mean? He's the best feminist, and I am so proud of him. Cheers, hon. We are also working on so many retreats, and it is so fantastic and fun creating these experiences and really honing in on them and getting them down pat. I mean, when we start, we do generalizations. And as I get going, as we morph along the process of having these retreats, I get ideas of, oh my gosh, this would fit in so perfectly here. Oh my gosh, that would fit in so perfectly there. So it's just such a beautiful experience for me. It's one of my favorite things, and it really helps me to share on Instagram and the different socials ideas on how to create these memorable retreats. But now let's step into what is happening in retreat news right now, because this space is evolving in such a wonderful way. New destinations, new concepts, new ways people are gathering and creating transformation. So this is your inside look at retreat news that is trending and what is emerging and what is worth paying attention to. And I'm kind of excited to get into this week's topic because this one is definitely creating some buzz right now. You may even have seen posts and headlines floating around about psilocybin becoming legal. And I want to clear this up because that's not exactly what's happening. Recently, President Trump signed one of his executive orders, one that I finally agree with. I'm super sorry if that offends anyone. Please know that I have plenty of people near and dear and around me who are on the other side of me politically, and we still get along. And same with retreat attendees who have come on retreat with me. We don't talk politics. No, we're not talking politics. We're into self-love and growing. Yeah, that's what we're all there for. And I do believe it is my calling to lead you all on that very same path. So yes, recently President Trump signed an executive order to accelerate research and access to psychedelic therapies, things like psilocybin, for mental health treatment. I will put a link to the Times article, but basically here's what he did. Last month in April, he signed that executive order to accelerate the research and the access to psychedelic therapies. That order pushes the FDA to fast track studies and potential approvals for substances like psilocybin, MDMAs, and others for serious mental health conditions. It also opens pathways for certain patients, especially veterans, to access these experimental treatments under medical supervision. That is so great. But it is important to know psilocybin is still illegal on the federal level in the United States. It is classified as a Schedule 1 substance. This order does not legalize recreational or general use. What this does mean, however, is that we are seeing a real shift towards exploring these substances in a clinical therapeutic setting. But, and this is important, this does not mean it is fully legalized or widely available. What it does signal is the conversation around healing, mental health, and alternative therapies. It is evolving in big ways. And for the retreat world, this is something we will definitely keep our eye on because we are already seeing retreats with breath work, somatic healing, and deeper transformational experiences. And this could open the door to even more conversations around what healing can look like in the future. And I'll share just one more thought on this. Just from a retreat perspective, I think what's really interesting is not just the conversation around psychedelics. It's what it reveals about what people are actually searching for right now. People want to feel something again. People want to heal. They want experiences that go so much deeper than just the surface. And for a long time, retreats have quietly been creating that space through connection, through environment, through intentional design. So as these conversations become more mainstream, I think it raises a really important question for retreat leaders. Are we relying on something external to create transformation? Or are we truly designing experiences that allow someone to access that within themselves? Because the most powerful retreats, they don't give people an experience, they give them back to themselves. That hits hard for me. It's such a beautiful thing to feel myself, to see happening in others. But let me gather myself back together here. The best retreats do guide people back to themselves, and that doesn't require anything extreme. Really, it only requires presence, intention, and the ability to hold space in a really meaningful way. And if this conversation is speaking to you, if you have been craving something deeper, something so much more meaningful than a beautiful getaway, this is exactly the kind of experience that we are creating just for you at our upcoming women's retreat in the Dominican Republic, January 2027. We are calling it Find Your Happy Again, and it is designed to help you reconnect with yourself, your joy, and what truly lights you up. We will focus on intentional experiences, powerful connection, and most of all, creating space for real, lasting shifts, all while having so much fun and staying at a beautiful eco retreat deep in the jungle of the Dominican Republic. A lot of people do visit the Dominican Republic, but they don't go back into the jungle. This place is so magnificent and super beautiful. And everything you would want a retreat to be, it's exactly that. The retreat center sits on a beautiful mountainside where you can see the ocean. The walk to the ocean is not too far away, maybe 5-minute walk. And they have their own chef who will be taking care of all of our needs. All of the meals are included, along with smoothies and coffees and teas and juices. It's just going to be fantastic. So if you're feeling that pull, you can find all the details on our website or in the description. We will put a link or simply reach out and we would be happy to share all of the information with you. Okay, in retreat reviews today, we wanted to take a look at some of these sacred medicine retreats. So Miss Penelope, our AI assistant, found these two, and I totally agree. They are perfect with two completely different price points. Let's check them out. Now, one of the first things that we did notice is these type of retreats do typically cluster in a few areas: Jamaica, Costa Rica, Mexico. And the Netherlands have these retreats, although in the Netherlands it does say that it is a more regulated space. And they most publicly position themselves around these four topics: psychedelic assisted therapy, plant medicine ceremonies, transformational healing retreats, and integration plus therapy healing. So look for those phrases if you are searching out a retreat. But first, we are going to look at a retreat from Myco Meditations in Jamaica, one of the most established programs. It is known for therapeutic psilocybin sessions, licensed facilitators, integration therapy, and a highly structured medical style retreat model. How many of you saw Nine Perfect Strangers? That's what I picture when they say that. But those people did not know that they were getting microdosed, even though it was helping them. It was a great book and a great movie. Let's go take a look at one of their retreats. Okay, Myco Meditations has 3 different locations in Jamaica. I just picked the first one, Blue Marlin Psychedelic Retreats in Jamaica, and it starts out with a beautiful view of a gorgeous retreat center right on the what looks like the beach. Maybe there, no, that's on the beach. It literally looks like it's on the beach. And it's so fancy that you just don't know who you would run into here. It is so beautiful. Yeah, it's right on the beach. Okay, Blue Marlin Psychedelic Retreats in Jamaica. A premier psychedelic retreat in Jamaica's Treasure Beach, situated next to Myco Meditation's office and cultivation site. Blue Marlin is our flagship location and most popular option. This lush seafront property contains 2 beautiful villas with spacious tropical gardens and relaxed accommodations, just steps away from one of the most beautiful beaches in Jamaica's south coast. Blue Marlin is also a registered archaeological site with a rich history of the Tano people. Along with the property's friendly staff, this location offers you an environment of maximum comfort. And I have to say, it really looks like it. Starting at $6,250 per person, double occupancy, and going to 9,600 for single occupancy. I'm assuming that is USD. The setting: Caribbean calm meets therapeutic clarity. Your dosing sessions at Blue Marlin and Coquina are complemented by rich gardens and the lull of the nearby waves. Enjoy the coverage of a breezy thatched pavilion, patios overlooking the sea, or the powerful lignum vitae tree with Jamaica's national flower during your psilocybin session. And the picture is of like a patio, but the bottom, it doesn't look like it's on concrete. It looks like it's a jute rug or maybe even brushed sand, overlooking a gorgeous pool and the ocean. And it has some really cushy seating along with a hammock. And there are more pictures showing the stunning view of this location. And it is stunning. Discover healing in the tranquility of Treasure Beach, Jamaica. Nestled along Jamaica's serene southern coastline, the quiet fishing village of Treasure Beach provides an intimate, unhurried environment perfectly suited for psychedelic assisted therapy. The tranquil shorelines, welcoming community spirit, and relaxed rhythm foster feelings of security and stillness to set the stage for the optimal psilocybin retreats. And then there are more beautiful pictures, and they talk about the amenities, which is what I was super curious about. It's obviously a beautiful location. It says upscale accommodation for your Jamaican mushroom retreat. Blue Marlin and Coquina offer a range of rooms from comfortable garden view rooms to king rooms with expansive balcony views of the Caribbean Sea. All rooms include ensuite bathrooms, complimentary Wi-Fi, and air conditioning. The staff at Blue Marlin provide an elevated level of service with daily housekeeping, meticulously maintained gardens, and delicious meals combining local cuisine with international fare. And it goes on to show more beautiful pictures. This one of it looks like that king size room. This looks like two twins that are pushed together, which is a fabulous idea. If you are a retreat center, look how they've done this. Most people wouldn't think you could do that with a four-poster bed, but they certainly did, and it looks gorgeous. The room brings the inside out, and it looks like a place I would love to retreat to. What makes our Blue Marlin psilocybin retreat unique? When you join us on Blue Marlin, you join our flagship location where we have held hundreds of psilocybin retreats over the years. Our psychedelic assisted therapy retreats pair structured preparation, 3 higher dose sessions, and our extensive integration program with the ideal setting in Jamaica, just steps away from the sea. You receive facilitation from one of the most therapeutically specialized psychedelic retreats in the world, along with medical oversight and personalized care, all within an intimate group setting. And that it talks about their upcoming retreats. Quite a few, it looks like a couple in May, two in June, one in July, two in August. So check it out, everyone. And please let me know in the comments what you think of this retreat and if you would go. And if that price is too much, and if you would pay that price, I'm very curious to know. Okay, we're going to pop on over to this retreat. It's called the Psilocybin Retreat for Relationship Healing and Personal Transformation. So I think this is great if you are a couple and you want to experience this together. You can do it here. This is at blueosa.com, and we will talk more about Blue Osa here in a little bit. But of course, the link is in our description below. And while you're down there, if you would please subscribe to the show or follow the show if you are listening on your favorite podcast place. We would really appreciate that. It helps us out so much. And they start pushing the show out to more people. Okay, this says for a quick reference on October 10th through 16th, the price is $2,500. And I'm assuming that is USD. It doesn't say. Let's hear about the retreat. Transform your relationship, heal your heart, reconnect with yourself and others. That really does touch me because I have only had one psilocybin retreat, and I do feel like I did heal my heart. This goes on to say, experience transformational healing at our psilocybin retreat in Costa Rica at Blue Osa. Our intimate Costa Rican psilocybin retreat is specifically for relationship healing and personal growth. Located on the pristine Osa Peninsula at Blue Osa Yoga Retreat Plus Spa, our intimate retreat combines sacred psilocybin ceremonies with relationship-focused integration for individuals and couples ready to transform how they connect. This isn't just another retreat. It is your invitation to experience profound healing through sacred plant medicine. Discover deeper intimacy within yourself and with others. Connect with kindred spirits as you unlock the love you have been seeking. As fall 2026 approaches, join us for 7 transformative days where medicine becomes healing, patterns dissolve into possibilities, and strangers become a healing community. Under the guidance of experienced facilitators, Reverend Jackie Ruiz and Taryn Swanepoel, discover transformation. Ancient wisdom meets modern neuroscience. Your capacity for authentic connection awaits. Whether you seek personal liberation from painful relationship patterns or you're a couple ready to deepen your bond, this immersion will reshape everything. Release what no longer serves. Cultivate meaningful healing with fellow seekers. This retreat week is designed for 2 kinds of seekers. those ready to heal relationship patterns and open to deeper love, and couples seeking to rediscover the connection that first brought them together. Through sacred psilocybin ceremonies, relationship focused integration, and quiet introspection, you'll discover profound truths. Your greatest limitations weren't about your partner. Your greatest healing happens when you return home to yourself. Nestled in Blue Osa's pristine beachfront sanctuary, nourish yourself with organic farm-to-table cuisine, heal, integrate, and emerge renewed, all within a compassionate, trauma-informed environment designed for safety and profound transformation. This is more than medicine. It's a homecoming to the vibrant, connected life you deserve, held by a community that truly understands. And look at here, we have a limited time only early bird discount. Save $500 when you register before May 24th, 2026. And before you sign up, they do have you schedule a discovery call where you talk about the retreat and make your $800 deposit. And the website does go on to talk about your instructor, the Reverend Jackie Ruiz, and it shows a beautiful picture of her in a beautiful yellow dress in the jungle. We will put a link in our show notes to that YouTube video if you would like to check it out. And also, of course, to this retreat. Be sure to subscribe to the show or hit follow if you're listening on your favorite podcasting network, which we are available now on almost all of them. Amazon's Audible, iHeartRadio, Spotify. What's the other one? Oh yeah, Apple. The accommodations are intentionally designed beachfront, eco-friendly rooms with ocean views and the use of a 25-meter pool. And it shows a picture of 3 beautiful women in their bikinis sitting on the edge of that pool. That looks so lovely. And the meals, 3 delicious farm-to-table meals per day using homegrown organic ingredients plus snacks and more to keep you energized and satisfied the whole week long. And I have to say, in that video, the chef looked so joyful and happy. That always makes me happy to see them happy. Yoga, there is daily yoga classes and yoga props, including mats, blocks, and straps. And the transportation, the airport transfer from Porta Jimenez to Blue Osa and return are included. Also included are the 2 sacred psilocybin ceremonies, daily integration ceremonies, breathwork and meditation, beachfront sanctuary, organic farm-to-table meals, nature connection, small group size, welcome ceremony, and a closing integration. And like I mentioned before, it does have this early bird special. If you book before May 24th, you get $500 off. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in, you might want to consider going ahead and putting down your deposit so you can get that $500 off. So check out this retreat. It looks like a really good one if you are interested in psilocybins yourself. All right, I feel like we have talked that to death. But that is what we love about exploring different retreats. You start to see the patterns, what works, what really lands, and what people remember most. And it really brings us back to what we're talking about today. See, Penelope does such a great job. Thank you to our assistant, Penelope. Because like we said in the beginning, most retreats are beautiful. They just are. The locations, the views, the spaces, they're just incredible. Like those 2 retreats we just reviewed. And that is often what draws people in the first place. But that is not what makes a retreat truly unforgettable. And I think this is the place where things start to shift, especially if you are a retreat leader dreaming about hosting a retreat of your own. You know, it is so easy to focus on the visible things, the itinerary, the activities, and the details. And yes, those things do matter. They absolutely do. They create the structure. They create the setting. They are not what people carry home with them. What people remember is how they felt. They remember how they felt when they they woke up in the morning, how they felt walking into a room, how they felt being around others there. They remember whether they felt seen, if they felt safe, if they could finally exhale. That is what stays with them. It's how people feel when they are there. And that feeling, it is something that you create. It is not just about choosing the beautiful place. It is about the energy you build inside of it. It is the space you hold for transformation. And this is something that I think is so important and not talked about enough. People don't just come on retreats for the activities. They come for what those activities unlock. A group dinner becomes a moment of connection, a walk becomes clarity, a workshop becomes a breakthrough. But that only happens when the space is designed with intention. So if you are someone who is thinking about hosting a retreat, start thinking beyond the logistics. Personally, I think it is so nice when you have a retreat all organized before you find the location. And once you find the location, you know if it fits what you planned for your retreat. To me, it's almost easier than finding the location first. So start thinking about the experience you're creating for your attendees, how you want them to feel, what you want them to walk away with, and what kind of space you are truly holding, because that is where the magic is. And I think that is why people are becoming more intentional about the experiences they choose to spend their time and their money on. It's almost like people are finally starting to hear what retreat leaders have been saying all along, that we are craving more than just a trip. We're searching for experiences that are meaningful, experiences we can truly connect with. People want to come home with more than photos on their camera. They want memories, perspectives, inspiration, maybe even a different way of seeing themselves and their lives. And I think the retreats that truly stand out are the ones that understand this, the ones that create moments attendees can actually feel what they're living, not just experiences that look good online. Although we want those too. But truly, it is the intention behind every moment. It's the little things people don't always see. Flow of the day, the energy of the room, the way conversations are guided and allowed to unfold. It is the experience you design beneath the surface. And that's the difference between a retreat that is beautiful and one that truly changes someone. They are the ones that people talk about for years. They are the ones that people come back for. Like the first retreat I ever went to, the Writer's Retreat by Jennifer Loudon. It is still going on, and I would go back every single year if I could. If you are a writer, check it out. I will put a link in the comments. It is the retreats that you recommend to everyone you know without hesitation, just like I did with Jennifer Loudon's writing retreat. And very similar to the retreats we were just looking at, we are also doing an experience that you might be craving for yourself in the Dominican Republic in January of 2027. This is not just a getaway, although it is in the heart of winter. And if you live in a cold climate, you will love going down to the beautiful jungle and the blue waters of the Dominican Republic in January. The whales will be migrating, and you do have the option of going on a whale excursion. And like I said, it's not just a getaway, but something deeper, more meaningful, and connected. That is exactly what we are creating inside the Find Your Happy Women's Retreat we are having down in the Dominican Republic, up in the beautiful jungle, far away from the city. So if you are feeling that pull, you can find the details down below in our show notes or on our website, bucketlistretreats.com. And before we go, I want to give you a little preview of next week's episode, because I think you are absolutely going to love this one. We're talking about the sensory shift, or as I like to call it, senses wide open, how experiential retreats rewire the brain. And this conversation is all about power of sensory experience, or how even small shifts in our environment can create really profound internal change. From sound baths to immersive experiences to things like blindfolded dinners, silence, texture, music, movement, and the way retreats waken us through the senses. And we are exploring why stepping outside of the ordinary can make us feel more present, more alive, and more connected to ourselves. Because a lot of times transformation does not happen through a big breakthrough. Sometimes it starts the moment your senses finally wake back up. So make sure you're subscribed, follow along wherever you listen to your podcasts, because that episode is really going to be a beautiful one. I'm Kelly Morgan Murley, and this has been Bucket List Retreats, the podcast. Thank you so much for spending time with me. If you enjoyed today's show, don't forget to share with a friend who might be looking for alternative ways to treat what ails them. As always, keep retreating, keep exploring, and we will see you on the next adventure. Bye-bye.
I love you, Gaga.